Hey guys, it's Nimbus. I am back today with another video. I still couldn't get my microphone to work, so I guess we'll be figuring that out at some point. But I think my last video sounded okay, so I'm just going to keep it with the microphone on the camera. But yes, so with that being said, let's move on to our normal business. We will never be free until we're all free. I don't even know how to say any of this stuff without getting in trouble. I mean, it's horrific. It's horrific stuff that's going on. And the information is out there. And you are free to choose whatever side that you want to choose. Just know that the information that is out there, the stuff that people are saying on Twitter, people are seeing and saying on Instagram, all of this stuff, well, seeing and saying on Twitter as well. But everything that we're seeing everywhere, it's not, it's what's actually happening currently. We have to remember that these are human beings that we are fighting for. Period. These are not numbers. These are human beings. These are people with dreams and lives and things that they wanted to do. We cannot let them just in vain for nothing. You see the people all over still fighting back Yep. You see them still fighting back, and they're still living, and they're still doing what they can. The least we can do is still talk about it and share information about it. The least we can do is be their voice. We have the ability to speak up. We have the duty at this point to speak up. Oh, but I'm a humanist. I wanted to stay neutral. Where's the humanitarianness in watching people, children, mothers, pregnant women get buried under rubble? Where's the humanity in that? Children are cold, alone, missing limbs, getting amputated with no anesthesia. And you guys still refuse to believe what it actually is. We know what this is. We can see it clearly. And if you don't want to see it, you're willingly closing your eyes. Anyway. With all that being said, so if you guys do not want to breathe with me today, go ahead and skip to right here. Otherwise, we will get started breathing. If you guys do want to breathe with me, put your hands flat down on the table in front of you or flat down in your lap. Put your feet flat on the floor. And yeah, we're going to sit up straight. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. We're going to breathe in on the count of 4 and out on the count of 4. We're not going to hold it or anything. But yeah. Also, if you guys need to breathe any differently, you are welcome to. You can breathe with me or slower or faster, however you need to. Don't hurt yourself. Don't go crazy. Just, this is just to relax and to connect better to the collective energy for the reading. All right, guys. So if you guys are ready, let's close our eyes and we are going to get started. Breathe in. Out. in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, last one, out. Go ahead and breathe normally now. Keep your eyes closed. And just release any tension that you may have from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. I usually just need to do some, neck rolls, maybe some shoulder rolls, forward and backward. Switch. Move my feet around a little bit, move my hands around a little bit. Maybe try to kick my legs a little bit. Okay. Take one more deep breath in. And out. Go ahead and breathe normally and open your eyes. If you guys need more time, go ahead and pause it now. Otherwise, we are going to get started. But yeah. Okay, guys. So we are going to do the Sacred Web Tarot today. This deck, though, I did notice the last time, I did need to look at the book quite often, just because some of the numbers for the major arcana are a little bit different, and some of the words were a little bit different as well. So I just wanted to, just since it could mean a little bit something different, I'm at least just going to get some keywords. Which, honestly, I might start doing in all my videos just to keep my ideas on track. But yeah, so after this, we will do our pride message and our sweary affirmation as well. And yes, also, my website is open, NimbusThePoet.com. I have my poetry is up, as well as my readings are available and open for one-on-ones. So if you guys would like to book one of those, go ahead and head over there and email me, and we will get started. Cool. A portion of what I make from those will also go to various organizations around the world. So yeah, if you guys would like to tip me, I do have my Cash App and Venmo down below, although my tips will go as well to those various organizations. I also encourage you guys to join me in giving your money to those organizations as well, along with a hard pass on various other products and things coming out of the country that shall not be named. Let's do a February energy check today. Alright, Spirit, let's do a February energy check today. Or like a February energy check. I love these cards because they're like a little bit thin, but they're like really good. Like a nice... They're easy to use, like they're easy to maneuver. They're quite bendy. They're quite bendy. But they're pretty nice though. Anyway. right, Spirit. What's our February looking like? One card at a time, please, Spirit. We got the Six of Wands right here, I believe. Yeah, it's Wands. It's gotta be Wands. They got little flames on them. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, okay, because feathers is... oh, this is like a fire. It's the elements. I remember this one. This one's the elements, not... So this is 6 of fire, which is just, it's the same as wands. Yeah, appreciation. Yeah, I was definitely gonna say this card just feels like having the simple things is what's important. $12 reversed. I am going to go into the deck just to make sure that I know what the card is. Reflection. See, I knew I wasn't gonna know what it was called. Consideration is the key word. With consideration for all that arises, I make space for transformative healing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful in and of itself. I mean, the appreciation for where you are and then the need for a transformative outlook is such a powerful thing to get started on wherever you want to go. Because once you have that appreciation, it's not about getting to a certain place because you're already thankful and appreciative of what you already have. You're not looking for something else because you're enjoying what you already have. It's like, this reflection to me more so seems like, one card at a time, please, Spirit. This reflection card to me, more being reversed, seems to me that it's like, you need to go into a period of reflection about what the things are that you are appreciative of currently in your life, but also the things that you want to have in your life, because, you know, one card at a time, please, Spirit. It's always going to take a balance of, you know, looking at the past and looking to the future, well, staying in the present, but looking at the past, seeing what you needed, and looking to the future to see what you might want to have. You know what I mean? And I've been talking about the Hermit card. The Hermit card's been coming up a lot recently. I don't know if it's going to come out now. It hasn't come out yet, but it's kind of that like feeling of you have to go inward and like really sit with yourself. Excuse me, perfect confirmation. Those I'm not taking. This one came out by itself. The 8 of Air reversed, which is the 8 of Swords. And it definitely feels like there's like a feeling of there's like a feeling of I can't escape this. Let me see what 14 balance. Like I was saying, integration. I integrate the internal and the external so that I can sing the song of my soul. some of this stuff might feel like you can't break out of it because you need to be a little bit more balanced in how you're looking at these things. Maybe what you're trying to break free from isn't specifically like maybe you're thinking that you need to break up with somebody who's toxic, or somebody who seems toxic. Maybe like the things that they're doing isn't quite toxic, but you're like, okay, but I think so. Do not do not take me completely seriously. Take this with a grain of salt. Like, maybe there's somebody who's in your life who you are like on the fence about, like really on the fence about, like not somebody who hurts you or anything like that. Like if there's something really wrong, you know that there's something really wrong. You know what I mean? So point being is that if there's somebody in your life that you're like, oh, I don't know if this person is that negative, or I'm just, first thing though is if you're thinking that you need to get rid of somebody, you probably do. But second thing is that if you feel like there's just something more to balance between the two of you, communicate. You got to communicate. Nothing's going to happen at all between any relationship, whether that's somebody in your physical life that you want a relationship with, or like, your ancestors, or like, asking something from your spirit guides or something like that. Like, it's all... It all takes the same type of respect. You have to have the same respect for your ancestors as you would, your grandma who sits around the table with you. You know what I mean? Like when is alive or was alive. You know what? Trigger warning. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. We got 6, which... That's a giraffe, okay, and a baby giraffe, okay. I didn't know what was going on for a second. Anyway. It looks like the 6 of Cups. 6 of Water. Wow, I just opened to the page. I shit you not. That is crazy. I just picked up the book. It says generosity. Yeah, this is 6 of Water. The practice of generosity expands my heart and my capacity to love. And it definitely seems like the more that we open up to, like say like the things that are happening are things that you just don't like somebody chewing with their mouth open, or they leave the toilet seat up, like things that aren't, like, they don't hurt you. You know what I mean? They're just annoying little things. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if somebody's hurting you and you're tired of speaking up about it, like, by all means, leave. Get out. You know what I mean? But like, if that's not funny, I'm sorry. It is serious, but not as serious in the sense that I'm talking, because this is really like small little things, or like things about yourself, like sitting with these things and like figuring out, like, is this really worth exploding over? Is this really worth causing a whole problem over? Is this, like, if it bothers you, and it's worth talking about. That needs to be said, and I will keep saying that completely, because I'm not going to back down from that point at all. However, if you've said it a million times and they still don't stop, you have to figure out, is that because they have some type of beef with you, or is that because it's just what they do? And you have to sit with that then. Are you able to deal with that, or would you like them to just stop? Because yes, I agree, smacking food all the time is definitely annoying. But for me, if the food's good, it's good. You know what I mean? So for me, that probably wasn't the best choice. But anyway, I did get a little sidetracked right there. But one card at a time, please, Spirit. I think what's really important to note is the fact that this energy feels so open, that it's almost like anything can really happen. Like, it can go any way. Like it's really up to you, whatever happens. Like, it's not... Well, but that's why I was mentioning the Hermit card before, because it definitely seemed... One card at a time, please, Spirit. It was like 12 cards at the same time. Because sometimes the things that we feel like we need are the things that we're hastily deciding that that's what I need to do. I need to do that. I need to do that right now. And it's either not quite what we need, or it's what somebody else needs, and what somebody else is using and doing for themselves. So I wonder if it's like, there's definitely a bigger need for balance, and a need for reflection on where this balance went and where it comes from for you. Because, like I was saying, there's definitely, like, we definitely need to stay in the present moment. Or it's good to stay in the present moment, because if we're thinking too much about the past, we're absorbed about the past, and we're not experiencing anything to its full effect. If we're just thinking about the future, we're trying so hard to plan things that are probably not going to happen, because by the time they get there, we're not going to be the same person. By the time that we get there, we're not going to be the same person anyway, so those things aren't going to be necessarily what we want anymore anyway. So there's always going to be a need for balance of what did I need before and what do I really, really want. But it's almost like a three-way balance. Like, you got to balance what did you need before, what am I looking for, and how am I feeling about all of this at the same time. It's really gotta kind of be all three of them, because otherwise you're going to be either too absorbed with looking at what you needed and didn't have, and then you end up in a lack mindset. Or you're looking towards things of, oh, but I want that, and I want that, and I want that, but I don't have anything close to that yet. And then you also end up in a lack mindset. So then when you add those two, and with the whole thing of how do I feel right now with what I have, and with the things that, you know, I know that are coming in, how do I feel with what I have? How do I feel knowing that these things are mine, knowing that these things are here to stay? Not talking about dude who needs to go because he chews with his mouth open. Not talking about dude who leaves the toilet seat open. I just mean, like, in general with you too. Those were probably really bad examples before anyway. But this is probably really more for, like, you specifically, not like you looking externally at other people. It's probably more for you. Like, what do I do that annoys myself? What do I do that pisses me off and makes me mad in the first place, and then I can't deal with anything else? What's the thing that I do that every time I realize I do it, I get upset, or whatever it is, you know, that kind of thing. Because once we're able to see those patterns in ourselves, we're able to stop those patterns, and then we don't have to worry about other people getting mad at us over those things, because, you know, let's face it, some of us have things that we do that are just plain out annoying, and that's okay, because if we enjoy it, we enjoy it. We got 7 reversed. I think that's the moon. Let me make sure. It is not the moon. I opened to the moon card. The Chariot. Assessment. I am at peace with my body, my mind, and my soul, ready to assess the way forward. And it's almost like with this mindset, well, okay, piggybacking off the lack mindset idea, if you have that lack mindset, you're definitely going to be stalled. You're not going to be moving far. and there's not really going to be a way to assess moving forward, because there's no moving forward at that point. You know what does that make sense? Because at that point you're just so focused on everything else that you didn't have, that you're not focusing on what you want to have, and you're not focusing on, or not even seeing maybe what's really coming into you, and really what's coming in to replace those things that don't serve you anymore. But that's why this time of reflection is so important, because we get to sit there and we get to figure out what it is we want to birth into the world. This is the Empress. Let me see what it's actually, well, I'm sure it's called the Empress in this, but I just want to see if there's something different. Grace. Gratitude. Grace is revealed when I choose gratitude to be my guide. I mean, I was saying that before with the six of fire. If you have that gratitude and you keep that gratitude, Spirit, the universe, source, God, the creator, whatever you guys want to call it, it's completely up to you. But they are showing that, or they really want to remind you, excuse me, burp for confirmation. They really want to remind you that no matter what you do, if you are gracious and live in gratitude, what's going to be, everything's going to work out for you, because you're already gracious and grateful of everything that's been happening to you. Which, I mean, that's something I need to get better at anyway for myself. But that's a huge thing for everybody, because we get so caught up with the things that we don't have, with the things that we want more, with the things that we, wish that we could upgrade to, or whatever it is. But we have something that we can use. We already have a phone. We already have tarot decks. We already have water bottles, reusable water bottles, not plastic ones. We already, stuff like that. You don't need the latest tarot deck, and you don't need the newest, coolest candle holders for any of this stuff, or that kind of thing. If you're starting your spiritual journey, you could be spending $10 a week, you could be spending $300 a week, you could be spending $3,000 a week, and you'd still be considered a witch. I mean, you know what I mean? That was just a little side note about maybe somebody needs to start, and maybe somebody needs to hear that. I don't know. But yeah, you could spend $3, you could spend $300, you could spend $3,000, you could spend $3 million, and you'd still be considered a witch. I mean, you know what I mean? Or wizard, or what was it? Doctor of Space and Time, whatever the hell. One card at a time, please, Spirit. We got the Seer of Earth, which is the King of Pentacles. Let me see, just because everything has pretty much had a new-ish meaning to it. Just curious to see what this one is. Harmony. I cultivate harmony when I give thanks for all aspects of my material existence, even the things we don't necessarily like. And it's hard, it's very difficult to do, but we have to give thanks even for the things that we don't like, because then otherwise Spirit just sees it as, okay, well, he didn't like that, so I guess we're just not gonna, Or on the flip side of that, that's all he spends his time talking about, so let's give him that. or she, or whoever. Let's give them that. Like, what moral of the story, if we are in lack mindset, it's going to be a whole thing of trying our best to either, one, get out of lack mindset, or two, well, we always have to get out of lack mindset in order to progress to most likely where we want to be anyway. So there's that. But, or you stay in lack mindset and you go in this perpetuating perpetual circle that just keeps going and it never stops because you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again, refusing to change. We got the 20, which I believe, let me just make sure, because I don't want to say something and then have it be like some completely random word. Yep, awakening. See? Communion. Released from judgment and suffering, I rise up in communion with the gathering light. Yeah, I mean, making it clear where you stand for all this stuff and being clear with yourself, like, what am I going to do when it comes time to, like, figure this out and, like, really pick my path and really, like, stick with my path? Am I going to like what I'm doing? Am I going to enjoy what, like, am I going to agree with things that I'm saying? Like, that kind of thing. And the more that you know yourself, the Fool, the more that you know yourself, the more that you'll be able to... I love when it works out like that. The more that you know yourself, the more you'll be able to apply yourself to different things. There's that saying, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And it's like, you know, like, a lot of people end up knowing how to do a lot of things, but they're not really good at everything that they know how to do. You know, they have maybe like one or two things that they're really, really, really good at, but then everything else they just kind of like know a vague kind of what they're talking about. But then there's those people who are just really good at the 3 or 4 things that they've been doing because they've been doing only those things for so long. But like, those are the people who sat with themselves and who really like interrogated, I guess, themselves to figure out what it is they really wanted to do. Because otherwise, you're not gonna... Student of Fire just came out. Otherwise, you're really not gonna get anywhere. You have to make something happen. Student of Fire, you have to learn how to make these things happen and how to really apply these things to where you are currently and what might happen in the future, but also from experience from the past. So it all comes back around. It all comes full circle because you need to have all that. It's a balance, again, between what you needed in the past and what you plan to have and what you want for the future, but with the... How am I feeling about these things? Am I going to actually want those things? Do I still need those things? That kind of thing. Because it will change. At least some of them will change. Maybe not everything. You know, maybe somebody who was 5 and decided they wanted to be an astronaut or a rock star or whatever. Maybe they still want to be a rock star or an astronaut at 32. I don't know. But, like, at the same time, like, we got the moon reversed. I know that's the moon this time. Which, I wonder, is it actually called the moon? Oh, it's gotta be. Yeah, surrender. I surrender to the truth that only in being present to this moment can I drink in the freedom that I seek. Reading over, I win. Go home. Money, please. I'm kidding. But anyway, point being is that once you are learning these things about yourself and about your environment and how you react to your environment and all of that, because it all goes in together to who you are. It all comes together as to who you are. You know, your environment when you were growing up played a huge role in your development. You know, your environment in school growing up played a huge role in your development and how you make friends and how you talk to other people and the things that you enjoy doing and the things that you don't enjoy doing. All of it. It's all, and that's why it's so important that once you get older, you have that conversation with yourself of like, okay, I've liked this since I was 8. I've liked this since I was 13. I've liked this since I was 12. What is it that I really want to like focus more on? What is it that I want to do, you know, when you get to like 20 years old or whatever, because you're so old now. Like, no, but seriously, I think, and the more that we can actually, one card at a time, please, Spirit, the more that we can actually surrender to Source, the universe, the creator, whatever, when we can actually surrender to Source, yeah. The 8 of something, that might actually be just 8. Let me see this really quick. When we surrender to, that is strength, courage. It takes the real strength of courage to live with empathy and kindness. I keep almost saying that when we learn how to love ourselves and be with ourselves, I say this all the time in my videos, when we learn how to be with ourselves and love ourselves, we open up the space for other people to be themselves with us, and in return, they open up space for us to be ourselves with them. So, and it does take a ton of strength to be honest with yourself and be open enough with yourself to do that. You know what I mean? I picked this up wrong. 10 reversed. The wheel. Of course, that one's the same. Purpose. I pause and root myself in my truth before I turn the wheel toward a life filled with purpose. Do I even need to read another card? Because, no, but seriously, like, it's so important for us to really sit with ourselves. One more card, please, Spirit. It's really good for us to be able to sit with ourselves and love ourselves and be able to sit in silence with ourselves without fearing what's going to happen next. Are we going to be upset tonight? Are we going to have to smoke tonight? Are we going to have to buy, you know, are we going to have to buy some liquor tonight? Are we going to have to do something else? Or are we going to be able to sit with ourselves? You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. And the toxic thing from what I was saying could have been something that's not actively harming you, like smoking weed or, you know, drinking alcohol. Like, I mean, it does harm. It's not as safe as being sober. You know, those are definitely not as safe as being sober, but for what they are, at least most people know what they do. You know what I mean? They can at least hopefully be as safe as they can be. You know, I put too much faith into people, but you know. But anyway, point being is that the more that we love ourselves and truly enjoy time with ourselves, it's easier for us to find the things that we truly enjoy because we already kind of know what we want to do anyway. It's at least a little bit more clear. you know, usually most people are like, oh, I want to be, you know, I want to be a singer, or, you know, an astronaut, or whatever. And those, they're not, like, necessarily vague, but they're not necessarily specific either. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do in space? What kind of music do you want to sing? What kind of art do you want to do? Like, that's my point. Like, we have to be a little bit more specific and strategic with these things, because not everything is going to be not everything's just going to know what we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily just going to be that we just know, or like we just get everything just because we're saying something that we think is correct. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know if that just made any sense. One more card, Spirit. Sweet. Source of Earth. Yeah. And then we have Source of Air as well. So those are that's the Queen of Earth and the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. We do have the King and Queen of Pentacles out. I just want to see what the keywords are. For Source of Air, it's authenticity. Trusting in the authentic expression of my soul, I embrace my fierce and flawless self. And we really only end up hearing our soul and really able to tune everything else out to hear our soul when we're sitting with ourselves in harmony with ourselves, Seer of Earth, in harmony with ourselves. And when we respect ourselves. With deep respect for my body, my home, and this earth, I recognize that we are all one. And it's crazy too, because with the Empress coming out, it's really a chance to create exactly what it is you want. You have the Fool card as well. There's a chance to create exactly what it is that you want. And yes, right now, or February, movement might stall a little bit, but it's not stopping. Give me 1 second. But yeah, so yeah, you have the chance to create exactly what it is that you want. You have the chance to go down the exact path that you want to choose. Like, there might be things that, like, your ancestors or your guides in general might want you to, like, you know, might, like, nudge you towards, but that's also not going to be the same as what it is you want to do. They might be pointing you to things that you'd be good at. Excuse me, word for confirmation. They might be pointing you towards things that you're good at, but they might not be pointing you towards the things that are, like, the perfect fit for you, if that makes sense. So, like, there's always going to be a little bit of, like, making sure, like, really making sure with yourself, sitting with yourself, like, does this make sense? Is this what I want to do? Or is this what other people are telling me I want to do? You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so with that being said, we're going to do our Pride message. Yeah. Spirit, what's our Pride message for today? For a month of February energy check. Got some gay candy and trans candy. Inclusivity. You help others by helping yourself. By letting the world see who you really are, you contribute to the visibility of differences and stand up for yourself and your community. Beautiful. I think the best part about sidebar. I'm sorry. I think the best part about doing videos like this is the fact that I get to like just looks at the invisible camera. Anyway, we got a little gay ice cream cone. It says choice. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. It is your choice to define who you are, who you want to be, and what labels you want to use. Nobody can take that away from you. That was such a wild way of reading that. Anyway, but it is all your choice. You are able to decide. That's what I was saying. You are able to literally birth whatever it is you want into this life. Like, you want a new house? Go get it. Go do it. Figure it out. I mean, it's not like figure it out in the sense of like, okay, where's the money coming from? It like that too for sure, but it's more so like figure it out as in like, okay, what are you going to do to get there? How are you going to make this happen? Because spirit they can't just give you a house. The universe can't just come down and be like, okay, here's your new house. Because I guarantee you, you know, either there was a big fire that just happened, or a natural disaster that wiped out the entire family that was living there, or something really crazy that nobody wants to live with. You know what I mean? Because all you said was, I want to buy a house, or I want to own a house, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, spirit was like, okay, I can do that. Anyway, I don't remember why I started talking about that. But anyway, pride. Equality. Equality. Always remember that we are all equal no matter what. Society looks different to everyone, but at the core, we are all equally worthy, you included. Paid for in part by viewers like you. Like me. Anyway, no, but seriously. I mean, those pretty much speak for themselves. They go perfectly in line with what I was saying, though. Like, you really have to remember, like, being yourself will open up so many things with other people that they will just want to talk to you and be with you simply because you're being yourself. Like, the people who are always being themselves are the people who are, you know, at a party, all the other people are like, oh my god, that guy's so cool. Like, he's talking to everybody. I want to talk to him too. Or her, them, whoever. Like, that's what I mean. Like, you'd be that person that everybody wants to talk to, and they gravitate towards you because you're just being yourself, and you have that space for other people to be themselves in whatever space you're in. You know what I mean? Let's do our sweary affirmation really quick and see how that goes. Which I'm sure I'll be fine. Big shake. But yeah. Spirit, what's our sweary affirmation for today? Okay, we got two. We got fuck yes I can. And we got positive vibes only. Fuck negativity. True. I mean, yeah. This reading is like so empowering. Like, it's so like, there's so much power behind this, but it's so like open and airy. Like, it's such like a joyful, it's a very creative energy, but it's a very creative in a very specific way. It's a very joyous and pleasurable energy, I guess I should say. But that's also because the best creations come from those very joyous interactions. And a lot of those things that happen come from moments where we are experiencing pure joy. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's really what this feels like. Like I almost can't stop smiling. The Empress, or Grace, the number 3, it's really been in my mind this whole time, because it's really this energy of you get to choose exactly what it is that you get to do. Again, Spirit might show you different things that they know that you'll be good at, but again, they're not showing you things that is exactly correct for you to do. You have to choose what it is that's correct for you. They don't know specifics about, you know, deities, your spirit guides, your ancestors, whoever, aren't necessarily going to know exactly what you're thinking, / they're probably not going to know what you're thinking. And like God, maybe he is omniscient, sure, but if you don't make it clear through your actions that what you're going to do, is he going to be able to read your mind? Like, fine, he's all knowing, but like, and I'm not really trying to get into like the specifics of the Bible, but like, genuinely asking, if you don't make it clear what it is that you want, is anybody going to be able to answer that for you? Like, genuinely asking. I'm not trying to be annoying. Like, I'm genuinely asking, if you don't make it clear what it is that you want, who's going to know what to do for you? And piggybacking off of that, then why do people have to pray in order to, why do their prayers have to be answered? Why do people have to pray if he's all knowing? If he knows that people are struggling, if he knows that somebody's in a struggle, because he would, why doesn't he help them? Why doesn't he just help them? The important questions. Anyway, that's not my point of this video, though. Anyway. Point being, we have the ability and the strength at this point to create it. And we owe it to ourselves to create it for us. We owe it to ourselves, to our inner child, to our future selves, to do the work to make it to where we want to be. It might not look exactly the same as it did in our head when we were 12. It may not look exactly the same as it did when we were 22. Or shit, even just last year. I'm 26. 25. Anyway. 25. If you know, you know. Anyway. No, but seriously. I think, before I repeat myself for the 8th time, that is pretty much all I'm seeing for you guys. But I do need you guys to remember to keep your head up. Please just keep going. Like, yes, a halt in motion sucks, because that means that you can't see what the next step is until you start moving again. But there's beauty in that, because now you get to take time either to rest if you need it, because rest is always important, and rest is always one of the most important pieces of self-care that nobody remembers. Resting isn't necessarily sleeping either. Resting can be something that you just find very relaxing. Like, you can be doing yoga and that can be restful for you. You can just meditate, like an active, guided meditation could be you resting. Like, stuff like that. And can help too. Because, it's viewed down upon in, hustle culture to take a nap or to take a rest when you need to, because it's this whole idea of if you can rest, you can be making more money. And it's like, true, except if you need to rest, you gotta rest. That means that you won't be able to make the right amount of money if you don't rest. You know, your work isn't going to be as good as it would be if you got the right amount of sleep last night. I'm not going to say 8 hours because we all know that the 8 hours thing is not correct or completely correct. Anyway, that's also not the point of this video. But this is a very beautiful reading, and I know I do keep saying that about all of my readings, really, but this is a very beautiful reading because this is it's a very potent and very, very, very positive energy. There's like no positive vibes only, fuck negativity. Like there's nothing, there's no negativity in here. I mentioned stuff about toxicity, but that was about you figuring out little details of stuff, not like big, I'm getting abused, should I leave or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the negativity that I was really meaning was like smaller stuff, like small things. Like things that are just annoying, not like actually harmful things. Anyway. But yes, I appreciate you guys for watching. That is all I'm seeing for you guys. I want to thank your people and my people for being here and for facilitating this reading. I want to thank you guys for watching all the way to this point. If you guys did watch to this point, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Please also turn on the post notifications as well. I don't know how many people are seeing when I post, so I want to make sure that if you guys want to see when I post, that you guys get that information. So, yeah. As always, free, because of course, and free everybody. We will never be free until we're all free. Do what y'all gotta do. Fight back. Keep going. We still got reason to fight. With that being said, I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Have the day that y'all deserve. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.